Blessings and welcome. I am Tuesday May Thomas, and this is your weekly tarot energy forecast for February 1st through through February 8th of 2018. It's a full moon. Today is January 31st that I'm actually recording this. Not that that's any excuse. I do want to tell you, in case you're unaware, I just released my new book, How to Manifest with the Law of Vibrations. Yes. I'm going to put a little link to a little promo video that I have there, and there will be more promo videos, just so you know. It's on paperback at Amazon, and soon later we'll get it on Kindle, we'll do the iBooks, but for now it is here and it is ready for you to check it out. Alright, I use the I'm feeling very goofy, very loony moony right now. I use the Osho Zen Tarot. Alright, here we go. We'll take a deep breath in and out, and we are going to shuffle these cards and call in our ancestors, our guides, those beloved loved ones, those light beings, loved ones, angels, ancestors, totems, animal spirits, all those divine light entities, light wonders that love us unconditionally. We call you in. We call in your wisdom, your divine, the space that you hold for us. And we welcome you. We welcome your wisdom. I welcome you. I sign myself into the keynote of everyone who is guided to watch this reading, that I may channel the highest, most divine messages that serve the greater good of one and all, including myself. All right, here we go. So I'm getting to divide it up into three. We had some poppers. Okay, so I am still getting to divide it into three, but let's see. Here's our new vision. Dun, 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 dun. Wow. Trust. And isn't this what this moon energy is all about? Because even though I'm recording it on January 31st, and I probably won't get it posted till tomorrow, February 1st, and it's for the first week of February, honey child, we are going to be feeling this full moon, right? It's the blue moon, lunar eclipse energy for the next 6 months. The next card is the outsider. And then the burden. We had this recently. Conditioning. We're still working out those cycles. Isn't it just incredible how these cycles go on and they get deeper and deeper? The creator, our true nature, patience, beautiful, another divine feminine quality. Friendliness. I wonder if this has to do with that Lovers card. So let's go ahead. Let me lay these out. And then we're going to look at pulling that, putting our what's left of our cards into 3 decks, and then I'm feeling guided that we'll pull 1 card from each deck, because we've got a lot going on here. Okay, so let's go ahead, and we're just going to take what we have, and we're going to divide it into 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to take 1 card from each area, from each little deck. Traveling! We had this last time. And then so I'm going to put those away, and I'm going to call into the second deck. We're going to pull 1. Integration. We just had this too. Okay, so we're still in these cycles. And then this last little deck. Courage. Courage goes so well with that trust card. Okay, so lots going on here. I'm going to try to make this not quick, but there's quite a few cards here. So I'm going to do my best to make it as succinct as possible. All right, so those are our 3 cards. We're going to leave those on the side for now, because remember, the first card that came up here, this new vision, and this is us moving from that sleepened part of ourselves. Remember, transformation has been a huge part of what's going on, which is so in sync with this moon, the lunar eclipse, and all this good stuff that we're experiencing right now. And it's leading us, this whole passage, for weeks and weeks and weeks. Again, I will put a link to, I don't know, like the last 5 tarot readings. No, but like I will put a link to the last 1 tarot reading. I'll just put a link to the last week's tarot reading right here. Okay. And then if you want, I think in that link, there's a link for the reading that came before that. Because it's all been leading us up to this new vision, which is us moving from unconscious to conscious, us actualizing, embodying, and really truly being and becoming those parts of us inside. This has been like game time, like it's show time. Remember we had laziness that kept coming up, and it's like, ooh, where are we kind of avoiding showing up in our life? Where are we avoiding being and fulfilling those parts of ourselves that are the truth, that are you when you show up fully lit, fully turned on, and ready to honor your part of the big pizza pie that's called a life, huh? Okay, okay. All right. So that's where we're going, and that's where your transformation is. Yet, if you do not allow yourself to honor, to align, to even accept or become aware of those divine offerings that are always here, always in your heart, always that divine wisdom that like knocks and calls for you, then there's no transformation, there's no initiation. Then it's just like the invitation to create a new vision for your life is there, but you can very easily pass it by, or perhaps just not really utilize it to the extent that it's there for you to really make the most of. And it's powerful and it's potent. And again, this is you authentically being you. And I know this is terrifying. This is terrifying. It's a trip, but you know, because my book, this book right here, is all about unyouing yourself. I'm going to print shirts that are going to say, go unyou yourself. Because the you that we're living, I'm not talking for everyone, for a portion of us, is the 20% version of us. We're like not the where's the missing 80% of us? Where is it? Is it here? Are you showing up? Are you living it? Yet most of us, we like get by on this 20% thing, and then we like have all these ailments, and we're depressed, and we've got all these issues, and it's like all this stuff. But you know, because we're not living our truth, my dear, because we are not embodying boldly and courageously those little ahas, those little nuggets of wisdom in our heart that are saying like, here I am, go this way, follow this path, do this, do that. And we're like, no. We make excuses, or the world shows us all the reasons why we can't and why we won't and why it will not happen. And so absolutely, I just can't do it because the world says XYZ and 1 + 1 = 2. It's very binary, right? It depends, the 20% of you depends on the reality and the constructs of the world and what you've been taught about the world to be true. It gives no space for the multidimensional, badass, superpower, you know, just fully turned on version of you living your life's adventure. This is what's up. This is this new vision. Use this time of transformation with this moon energy, this lunar eclipse. There's ending of phases, ending of cycles. Are you going to allow them to end? And these could be little mini cycles, or these could be big things where you keep making these choices and decisions in your life on behalf of your life, yourself, it's your life. And I don't really like to point at people, so I take that back. I put it in a bubble. It's our life. We are living this thing here, you know? So are you having a good time? Are you being honest to yourself? Are you being true to yourself? That's what we're called. Okay, so that's like the first 20 minutes is all on this first card, and here I am. I'm going to be succinct. So let's move on. You get the point. So this is what's required, is trust. When we do say, I'm going to trust my heart. I'm going to, you know, like embody this part of myself that is otherwise hidden or just dormant and asleep. That takes so much trust. Where is trust? Trust is always related with the heart chakra, with the heart of you. Trust is what bridges the lower, the first three chakras with the higher chakras within your energy body vehicle. And it is trust that is going to help you remember that you don't have to figure it all out. It is trust it is trust that aligns you with the qualities and vibrations of faith. And faith is that which is beyond reason. Trust. This is us saying like this is your Superman, your Superwoman outfit. This is you being the embodied, enlightened version of you, is when you're just like, I trust. I trust my heart. I trust my calling. And this is all, can I just say another little boost from my book? This is what this is all about. It's you living the truth of your heart fearlessly, courageously, like on fire. Why? Not to change the world, not because the world is bad, not because you're good, but just because you can. Because you can. Like you're here to can. You're here. You're here to be you, the full you, and your heart knows you. Your heart knows you. So that's intimately connected to trust. So then we have this middle row where we get stuck, right? There's the outsider. There's the burden. And then we have conditioning. Okay? So a little review, because these are all things that we've been through before, or these cards have been on repeat, except outsider. We haven't had this little one for a while. You see the cat's tail? See the cat's tail? Oh. Okay. So, there it is again. Okay. So the outsider speaks to, this kid is like totally disheveled, his strap is all on sideways, and you know, that could be like his punk look or something, fine. But the premise of the card is that like, this is the part of us that gets all disheveled and out of sorts and like starts to, you know, get the twitch and like the rash and the itch, and like we can't see the forest for the trees, again, because we're not following the truth in our heart. And remember, that becomes normal. It becomes normal. We become desensitized to the call of our heart. Yet, it's obvious that we're not allowing that truth to guide us because we get all disheveled and out of sorts. And then we feel like this outsider, looking through the gateway. Like, what's over there where that rainbow, beautiful astral colors are? And I'm standing behind this gate. But if we look really close, there's a lock, and yes, there's a chain. But the gate is not locked. The actual lock is not clicked and locked. And I don't know how clear you can see that on the camera, but it's not locked. It's the illusion of that, okay? This is what happens when we give our power away. Remember, the burden is all about us not living our truth, us living the truth of society, the truth of what the world tells us, the truth of what society tells us, the truth of what our family, parents, culture, traditions have told us. And this is like us saying, okay, I'm going to give you my staff of power. You see the staff. If you follow, but the staff, why I'm bringing that up is that that is your staff of power. That is your column of light. That is your central pillar that houses all the chakras. It houses your heart chakra. And when we give our staff of power away, when we give our power away, we become like this person on the bottom who's carrying the weight of the world, the weight of someone else, who's telling them, keep going uphill, yeah, upstream, yeah, follow my lead. But it's not your lead. It's not our lead. It's not the truth in your heart. And so we easily get exhausted. Yet the root of all this stuff, the major arcana card in this pile, and the root of all this is this conditioning of thinking we're something that we're not. It's all the stories that the world has told us. You're too fat, you're too thin, you're too old, you're too, you'll never do this. And it's even like situations in the world where we forget that we're mystical beings. Moral of the story is the stories that we're told about the way that the world works will either serve us in being more of the truth of our hearts, or it will serve to take us further away from that. So it's time to wake up from the matrix so that you can stop doing this. And so you can stop feeling like this. Okay, we're moving on. So the bottom row is so turned on and lit up. So, and look at, I love these two. They're right next to each other. The world is full of reasons why we shouldn't do not what we want to do, right? But what we do, what is true to you and to me. Yet here we are creators. And we're doing it, and we're being it anyway. And isn't that beautiful? Because that's us going, yeah, baby. That's us reaching for the stars. That's us totally shifting. Remember, the person on the very bottom of this card is down at hands and knees, is like crawling. Man, they're exhausted. That's like one way to live life. But then slowly, They start remembering their truth, and it's like juk, 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 and all of a sudden it's like this this cosmic realization of oneness, and of just like the universe has my back. My truth is badass. It turns me on. It gets me excited. It feels resonant, and it gives me peace. It gives me peace, you know? And so we learn how to trust it. And that's the Creator. Because the Creator knows that they don't do it by themselves, darling. The Creator knows that we give it over to a higher order. Sure, I'll change the oil. I'll stage the car. I'll say a prayer and a blessing over it. Give it up. Yeah, but then I give it up to God, to the higher order, to love, to my guides, to my angels, whatever name you give it. We create with that which is beyond us. We create with creation, right? In conjunction with that which is greater than us. We don't try to force. We co-create with the higher order of the universe for that which serves our highest good and that which is in alignment in the truth of our heart. And that gives us power to mobilize, to feel grounded, to feel secure, to feel the ability to be present in the moment with what is in a joyful, peaceful way. There's no struggle, there's no strain, there's no, well, maybe there's illness, you know, but there's less health issues, there's less stagnant energy when we go with the flow of the truth in our heart. And all this mama is saying is, hey, I'm the feminine of this masculine. So as you create with the divine creator, remember there is a divine timing. It's not on your time. There's and perfectly in line with this full moon, lunar eclipse, blue moon, red moon, all the moon stuff that's going on January 31st, 2018, that she's got all her moons, and she's like, honey, look, we've got phases. She's pregnant, she's fertile. The creation is on. You've been applying yourself, doing your work. We got to keep with it though, right? But he's like the masculine, right? The manifesting, like the part of you that's the divine creator, and like getting clear in your vision, and in the third dimension, submitting that application form, going for that job interview, making that phone call, calling up that person and telling them, I forgive you, or will you forgive me, or, you know, whatever the mode of action is that is involved in your set of creation. But she, so the divine masculine, divine feminine here, beautifully depicted as the grounding root pillars of this reading. And she, though, as patience, is saying, not in your time, in the divine time. Right? There's a divine hand at work in our lives. And it's there to not just serve you or me. It's there to serve the greater whole. And when we really get that, we can let go. And it brings us back up to this card here. We can let go and trust that all is well in all of creation. And we're going to be carried. We already are carried to the most divine alignment. So like, relax, be here now. Easier said than done, I know. But relax. Create the correct conditions so that you can have and experience as much peace as you possibly can. Yeah. And this card at the very end here is friendliness. So this is you, this is me, this is community. This is us relaxing, trusting, embodying this new vision of truth within our hearts, being patient as we create with creation, and allowing that new vision to come manifest in all of its divine ways. And this is the divine community, the people, the places, the new forms of connections that happen as a side effect of you being your true you. And we say this all the time. That if you're not being your true you, you'll never know what's waiting for you as your treasure enlightenment, as I like to call it, in your new vision, and more in line with the divine new vision. You know, this inner blueprint of wonder, of mystical, magical, super power, authentication. I don't think any opportunities are missed, ever. No. And you're welcome to join me in that. What is yours cannot be taken away. You will have another opportunity for all the things that you have put off and put off and put off. And that's what we're working out. That's what we're working out with this full moon energy. That's what you'll figure out with my book. Okay? Because there's people, places, and things for you to connect with that would not otherwise show up if you're not embodying and being your true self. So these last 3 cards that we pulled, traveling, card of fire, integration. This is so deeply related to the transformation we're going through, and courage. How powerful is this? 2 major arcanas, integration and courage, and then the traveling. So remember, last week we got traveling, and it's like, it's about this. Last week it was about the inner quest and the inner travel, right? And where your heart takes you with regards to you aligning with that truth in your heart. Because remember, sometimes it's just, you know, okay, we can say like, I don't have money to get on the plane to go to Costa Rica. Like, so we don't even think about it, you know, and that's okay. No judgment. Yet, when we do have a fancy in our heart, and we allow ourselves to adventure into it, to quest into it, to just, you know, tickle the possibilities, and we look up, well, where would I stay? And what's the weather like around there? And what do people eat? And how do people dress? Or, you know, just what kind of music do they do? What do people do for nightlife? Or whatever. Are there museums there? Whatever our gig is. Then we begin to create synapses within ourselves, energetic reflections of that which we're connecting with, and we run grids, and we connect with those grids of possibilities. And you don't have to have any attachment to it showing up in any certain way, because we're learning to use the law of vibration first before we use the law of attraction. And the law of vibration is all about you syncing up with the truth in your heart and honoring that first. And then from that heart space, you using all the tools that you've learned with the law of attraction and putting it all to work. But it's always with the heart space first. We're done miscreating with just the mind and just what makes sense in the world and just what we think needs to happen in order for us to be happy. Just what we think needs to, you know, we need to want in order to feel safe and comfortable. This isn't about being comfortable. This is not about being comfortable, my friend. Not to say that you can't have every comfort and luxury and the finest. When the comfort I'm talking about is the part of us that squirms in the presence of the initiation of the true self. It's the part of us that goes, ooh, I gotta really show the fuck up now. I really gotta step up and like get out of my comfort zone. That's what I'm talking about. You can fly first class. You can be invited into the greatest of villas and have and hold everything that you wish and eat the finest foods, drink the finest wines, or drink the best seltzer water, whatever your thing is. But it's that truth place of traveling outside of those known confines. So again, last week it was all about the psyche and like that inner thing of like traveling within and really tuning into that truth in our heart. And because we got it again this week, I'm like, you're going places. If you've been doing that work, and not that it's like you're too late, because remember I already said no missed opportunities. The grid is still up, the vortex is still open, right? So as we connect with that inner quest, that inner travel, and doing those things in the 3D that we know will ultimately bring us into 4D, which is the consciousness within our heart. It's living and expressing that bridges, right, heaven and earth through us. So that's what's going on this week, is as we do that work, opportunities to travel in alignment with that work come to us. It could be a 20-mile drive, a 200-mile drive, it could be a 200-mile flight, a 2,000-mile flight, train ride. I don't know. But those opportunities are right there, and it's fiery, it is lit up. So it's happening, it's on. So pay attention, read your emails, check your voicemails. Don't let things go unattended, especially if you've been applying or leaving phone calls or sending emails and stuff and you're waiting for responses. Be very on top of that this week. We had this last week. We know this is all about us fully becoming the truth within us and I mean, rainbow cones coming out of each side of your head, crystalline structures dancing above you. So powerful. You are your own holy grail. Drink from your vessel, my friend. Drink, drink, drink. Drink and become wise. Drink and become one. Drink and know you are one. Drink and be and embody your true authentic self. Yes, it takes courage, but you know what this card is saying? You got this. You got this. And this card is also saying the only way is up. Right? The only way out of your current situation is going within. And where going within will take you is more outside in the right direction, though. So that when we expend energy out here in the 3D, we're not misfiring, miscreating. The more we go inside, the more we... Then when we're awake in the 3D world, and we connect dots, then it is in that greater attunement with the truth within us. And it's, again, having that courage to trust your path, to trust your calling, to trust you, trust yourself, and to trust Creator, to trust the unknown, to supply everything that you need or that you think you might need. And it's really, this is living the adventure of your authentic self. This is living the adventure of your truth. Because it is an adventure. It does take getting a little uncomfortable to get used to you being trustworthy of the universe, trusting yourself, trusting the path, not having it all figured out. That's the adventure, though. That's when characters are allowed to come in from, like, the side scenes that you're like, oh my God, where did they come from? And, like, create opportunities and offerings where you're like, oh my God, that totally connects and synchronicities happen. But if we got it all figured out, or if we're just too afraid to ever even consider what it might be like to allow that or to align with that, we will never know how strong, how powerful and courageous we truly are, and how blessed we truly are. Quick story to end this. Story about the courage card is that we are all seeds, and a seed can live a millennia, for thousands of years. A little seed, a flower seed, a tomato seed, it can be a seed like for thousands and thousands of years. And then the correct conditions come, just the right amount of sunlight, the right amount of water, moisture, and all of a sudden what is within that seed begins to sprout and bloom. And that's what's happening with us. We've been preparing. We've been so getting ready. And this moon is like, and I believe, isn't there another eclipse in February? So here we are. We're in these cycles, these phases. It takes a lot of courage to be you. Unabashedly you. But I have every faith in you. And I have every faith in me. That's heaven on earth. That's living the law of vibration. That's living the 100% of you turned on, right here, right now. Without excuses for you being you. You're beautiful. You have something to share in this world. And again, it's not necessarily to change the world because the world is bad or effed up or anything. It's just like, it's you. Without all the restrictions and the limitations. So welcome. Welcome to you and your new vision. I'm so very grateful to share this time with you. I love and appreciate your support. Join my newsletter. It's at my website. You get a copy of my book, The Higher Self, Blueprint of Mastery. Every month I send out a love letter through my newsletter, and I give you bits and bobs of information of my teachings and what's going on, and blogs and all sorts of good stuff like that. I'm so very grateful. And again, if you would like a reading with me with the Osho Zen, send me an email. My email contact is down below. I would love to set that up with you. Namaste. Namaste. Blessings.